busy builder is now live. Streaming miniatures.
Hello! So yeah, we were working on this before when the stream died a couple weeks ago. So we're just going to continue on it. Got the interior put together. Engine I'm not worried about since I'll be gluing the hatch shut. But I want to pick out the wood floorboards and slats a little bit more. Allie decided she wanted the box. So she doesn't fit in it very well, but she decided she wanted it. Where's my wood color? And we'll be dressing this up as a more realistic tree in hopes of doing something with it. Wood. Need my wood. And yes, I'll keep saying it that annoying way. Got wood. I have one that I use. Where is it? And another bad sign of getting old. You know, I woke up this morning. My finger hurts right here for no reason. Feels like I smacked it on something. Should have done this after the last stream and cleaned it up, but oh well. One second. Oh, yeah. We'll see how today goes, too. Okay. Sorry, just adjusting something real quick. That seems more like it.
Era Studios just redeemed free hugs.
Hello. How you doing? How are the puppers?
good.
Arnie is still with us, but it's gonna be any day now. So another example of how I'm always criticizing Tamiya for not following through on a lot of things. Just making sure there's not one on the sprue that's not being called out. So two very important details of this vehicle, at least this version of it. Very visible details too. Is there is ribbing on the side of the hull through here and here, and there's also a space for, since this is going to have an MG34 at the front, there's a space for 2 drum mags to be stored. They don't include that. They don't include the mags, they don't include the frame that houses them. None of that. I found the files online for $1. I might download them, I'll have a dig around and see if I might actually have them first. There's also a paddle. Since this is an amphibious car, there's a paddle that mounts right here with a handle that they also did not recreate. I'm going to try my best to do it. I just want to see where the kit takes me first. Because there's this oar, you know, that's typical. And there's the shovel, but there's actually a second paddle that gets mounted right up in here. But first, there's that. Need my dark yellow. Come here, you. Hold on. I am not a model citizen. Nor am I the model of a modern major general. Get out of the paint rack, fuck's sake. Guess I could have gone for the one that was up higher. Wow, I am not having a good day grabbing stuff. I think one of these might be lightened, which I also want. So I gave the interior a light wash. That works. I don't know if I'm defective, but I've been made worse from the government. How's that? Evening government experiments. So, as I was saying, I gave the interior a wash of European dust to kind of tint it a little bit before I go too much further. Now I gotta move the camera back to show the cat. There we go. It's not a good stream unless we got a cat in it, right?
Almanax asks, couldn't you ascribe that label to anyone who has served in uniform?
That could be argued simply for the fact we did it to ourselves here, because right now our service is completely voluntary. So you gotta question the mental validity of one who decides to do it upon themselves, as opposed to one that's forced. But that goes down a whole other rabbit hole of political discourse that we're not going to get into right now. Thank you very much. Where was I? Probably going to start late tomorrow as well. I need to go to the hobby shop, pick up some supplies, like clear orange paint. You don't fit in that box, cat. Good lord. She has taken over the Schwimmwagen box and is determined to sleep in it. You don't really see it till after you paint it, but there is actually a wood grain on the floor slats. Of course, autofocus is not working. It never does.
Almanac said just noticed today. My completely amused channel is from 2007. I am an OG on YouTube. I started it when YouTube was less than 2 years old.
I wonder where I'd be now had I done that. My channel's been around for a while in terms of, like, its existence, but I really haven't started using it until just a couple years ago. I keep having to remind myself that because my Twitch channel's been around for a good while.
Almanac said yeah. Same here.
But it's... Let's face it, Twitch is niche no matter how you look at it, regardless of what you're doing. YouTube is more shotgun effect, for lack of a better word. It spreads out further, gets seen by more. It's used by more, too. So even if I'd started this while I was doing Twitch, I wonder where that would be. But I can sit here and wonder about that crap till I'm blue in the face and never have an answer, because I didn't do it, and it's never going to happen. And I actually see a lot of people get kind of torn up by that. You know, just sitting there thinking about the what ifs. What if I did this? What if I did that? Well, you didn't, so don't worry about it. Okay, I am already at the phase where I can glue the top and bottom of body halves together. So this being the winner of the poll, if I run into a stopping point on this, I'm going to start working on the loser of the poll, too. Because I'm weird like that.
Almanac said there is no discoverability on Twitch. To be successful on Twitch, you have to be successful on other platforms and funnel people to Twitch. Or so I hear.
I'd rather people just find me on YouTube and stay on YouTube. I've got the same kind of donation link up on here, things like that. So if you're on YouTube and you want to, help the channel out, you have the same means. You don't need to sign up at Amazon for a Twitch account to use, the sub thing there. YouTube will monetize when it monetizes. I can't do shit until, I haven't even followed that because I peek at it from time to time just to see how things are going. But I still need almost 2,000 watch hours to make the 3,000 in a year to get my initial monetization for memberships or super chats. So, I mean, if somebody's on Twitch and they want to help, then please, by all means, feel free, but don't have to.
Almanac said the minute-long delay on YouTube is murder on conversations with chat.
That's the downside of YouTube, is the latency issues. Is that why you're on Twitch today? Because there's less latency issues?
Almanac said yeah.
The thing about Twitch, at least for me, is I get lost in a sea of Warhammer painters. There's always somebody comes on, wow, I've never seen a scale modeler on Twitch. Well, where have you been? I've been here for almost 10 years now. And the other thing is, I don't have 8 hours in a day to devote to it entirely, so I'm just doing this as I can, as best I can. Just trying to get like a kind of grimy look inside. I'm not gonna put this like near water. I mean, it is a Schwimmwagen, but I'm not gonna have it crossing a river or anything like that. But I want to have the interior look suitably grimy. Maybe do a little light chipping along the inside of the doghouse. Alongside the transmission tunnel and the edges here, there. But I just want to give it some depth so when this is on, it looks okay. Before I glue that down, I'm just gonna go with, do I have German gray left? Not there, but I have some black gray here. I want to assemble the driver figure and get them situated. And really, I do this to have someone to talk to while I work on something.
Almanac said I would figure live streams would be a good way to farm watch hours on YouTube towards monetization.
You would think, but people actually have to tune in and watch. I don't know if they're watching actively. I don't know if they're watching afterward, like, because I'm seeing that they're getting views, right? The stream VODs are getting views, and I can see percentages watched, but I don't know who, when, how many times, you know, stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of little bullshit that they count to make it count as a watch. And the likes are minimal too. I mean, the way YouTube's got everything made, you have to comment on it, you have to like it, and you have to watch a good percentage of it for the algorithm to go, oh hey, people like this guy, let's put more attention on him. That's the way they work there. Twitch kind of works the same way in that the more you get, the more your chance you have of showing up on somebody's front page. But it's also a much smaller community. Almost like a gated community. Okay. Yeah, the steering wheel is going to be black. Like, I've got... It keeps fluctuating lately, so I don't know if it's YouTube doing a behind-the-scenes cleanup and removing fake accounts, but right now it's bouncing between 159 and 162.
YouTube don't want to recommend videos no one watches. The end goal is to jeep people on the platform.
Jeep or keep? But that's the double-edged sword of it. Is it because people don't want to watch? Or is it because YouTube isn't letting it be known that I'm out there? Where's the line drawn on that? I mean, if no one wants to watch, why do it at all? It's kind of depressing and disappointing and a bad way to look at things. But at the same time, that's something you could really kind of drive yourself nuts worrying about and worrying over. And that's not good, you know. And if you want, I can become a neurotic mess about it. Or I can just keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously, there's people out there that have subbed to the YouTube channel that are seeing notifications and stuff pop up because, like the polls are getting votes.
The worst thing that can happen to a creator is someone subscribing, but then not watching videos. Because then the algorithm concludes that even the subscribers are not watching, so it can't recommend it in wider circles.
And that's probably what it's doing, or what it's doing to me. Even my shorts views have gone down in recent days. I don't know if they changed the algorithm again, or if it's just the fact that the algorithm's not putting me out there. Even with, you know, everyone's always, oh, use your hashtags, use them. Which fucking ones, you know? For what I do, I can't use the same live, laugh, love bullshit that a lot of people use. I can use hobby, I can use scale models, I can use painting, I can use model building, Playmo. But when you're putting them in, you're seeing that they're not getting a lot of content put on them. But the other weird thing is, like, take the AMX 30, just to show you something weird. The first short, where it wasn't painted, started out slow, then rocketed off to 1.2k views, so 1,200 views. The next two haven't even busted 300. Same vehicle, same tags. So it's like once you get it figured out, they change it, so you gotta try and learn it again. And that gets irritating. I'm just trying to use a bit of dark gray to pluck out the texture in the seats here. There's supposed to be black vinyl over a thin pad. You know, that shit got grayed out real fast. There we go. So in the long run, you know, it's almost like you gotta rely on the old skills. Just get people to like, follow, share, regardless of what the algorithm supposedly says. Because those are the three basics. Everyone's always acting like, well, here's the secret trick. You get these stupid clickbait videos about that shit. There is no secret trick. And if somebody tries telling you there is, they're lying. That video was meant to get you, desperate for views, to watch it to get them views. Which is why I don't worry about it. If I succeed, I succeed.
There is also the possibility that it got recommended to the same people that watched the first short, as there were proven success, but they thought, hey, I've already seen this, and skipped the video. And then that killed wider recommendations.
Well, if it was the exact same thing, I could understand it, but it went from unpainted to base painted to weathered.
Almanac said just a thought.
No, I get it. And it probably has a lot to do with it. Or the swipe through rate's higher, so yeah. My highest viewed shorts still Mia the Lamia from Monster Musume, the 3D print I did of her. But every other female figure short, anime or not, nothing. That particular one though went through the roof by comparison. So this kit comes with a new driver to look like he's talking to the new field officer that comes outside of the car. I wonder if I could repose this guy to be in the passenger seat. Be a waste of a figure, right? I'll look into that after we get the basic stuff done. So I have to say these new age Tamiya figures are pretty good. They're really well sculpted. I know you can't really see it because of, you know, autofocus playing badly. It almost seems like I need more light somehow. Give me a second. You're gonna see the screen go really bright. Yeah, look at the wrinkles in the arm. And I'll probably give this guy just your standard German gray uniform. I gotta tape the body together a little bit too. The fit's okay. Like, you get everything lined up, snap down. You look at it from the outside, you're thinking, oh, okay, that's not bad. Then look, you can see through the fender wall there. And no amount of squeezing is going to get it all the way together. So I'm going to tape it to try and kind of snug everything down, get the figure and make sure his arms are put right so they'll fit here and on the steering wheel. And then throw some glue on the body seams. I got this kit hoping it would be a kind of simpler, quicker build. No, shouldn't need putty, just some finesse. But I got it hoping for a quicker build, and it turns out it's a bit more overcomplicated than I was expecting. Because if you don't get this right, the rear hatch won't fit right either. Come on. Don't pop the tape. There's that. There's that.
Almanac said fit is a cumulative issue in model building.
Not always. The thing is, you see so many people glazing this kit in the reviews. Nobody ever mentions that. Not a single person. I gotta see if there's actually a seam there, or if I have to remove that. Yeah, it looks like there's a raised seam there. So I would actually have to stretch some sprue and put it along that seam line. Instead of filling it and sanding it flat, there's actually a raised bead of weld right along there. But that's another thing that I don't... We're talking about, like, channel support, things like that. Aside from a couple projects last year, everything you're really seeing, I'm doing on my own. You know? Bugger. Ah, shit.
Almanac's asks in contrast to?
What do you mean in contrast to? I'm not sponsored, I'm not supported, I'm not, you know, other people, oh, I have a sponsorship with AK or MiG or SMS or, you know, whatever company. I don't have that. Not that I want it, but I'm just saying. I'm not being sent anything to build for anybody.
Almanac said off. That's what it meant.
Mr. Surfacer to the rescue. Because the great thing about this stuff, you don't always need their lacquer thinner to thin it. If I go back afterward with a cotton swab with 91% alcohol, that'll also take it off.
Almanac said well. Model building is a comparatively minuscule niche on YouTube, I guess.
You'd be surprised, my feed's full of other channels. But at the same time, a lot of those channels, you watch it long enough and you see, okay, they're only building kits from this company, they're only using these paints. I wonder something. But I'm also not your typical builder, I guess, because the channels that I see that have, say, a theme, anything like that, call me crazy, call me stupid, whatever. How many times can you watch a guy with a beard and a hoodie and a hat sitting inside do something before you begin to notice the pattern and you're like, I don't want to be like that. You know, I don't do... Like, there's sprues and brews. I don't really watch it. Why bring alcohol into it, you know? I don't know. I am me. It's probably my own hindrance, too, you know? I got my own way of being.
I don't believe there are many really successful, non-Asian, creators in this space. There may be many Western-based channels, but I'd be surprised if there were more than a handful with 100K subscribers and average of 100.
Oh, I have no dreams of being that high at all. And even the Asian-based channels are heavily subsidized. But I don't know about you, sitting inside working on something, doesn't matter what room I'm in. I couldn't sit there with a hoodie, a t-shirt, a hat, and a beard. I'd be sweating my fucking balls off.
Almanac said just an example number to gauge success.
It's not about success. If you do it for success, you're going to be disappointed. But I also do understand that I am very opinionated, and my opinions don't always match up to the will of the people, so to speak. Like, I don't know why Major Havoc is still around. He's one of my OG viewers. I just saw him pop in, so I figured I'd mention him. Before it fully sets up, just remove all the excess and clean it up with a Q-tip with some 91%. Just leave it in the crevice.
Model Student 20 said howdy hey.
Hey, Model Student. We have been discussing viewership and crap like that, and different trends in the hobby, and you know, should I wear a hat and grow a beard and put a hoodie on for every one of my streams and videos? Because, you know, that seems to be what all the cool, you know, Gen Xers are doing.
SFC.M said awesome hornies. Stopping by to give you a thumbs up, brother. The influencer model isn't always your friend.
I know SFC, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But you get what I'm saying. I'm not the influencer. I'm the, hey, look what I'm building today. If you like it, it's still out there. Have fun.
Model Student 20 said the other shrimp I see. I've been wondering myself, LOL. Almanac said seems for success there has to be a
right
along with the model building, alcohol, beer, boobs, clown, or maid outfit. The artistry is not...
You're not totally wrong, Almanax. You are not totally wrong.
At SFC.M said that's what I love about your channel.
I appreciate that. And while we're on the subject of visibility and stuff like that, pick a short, pick a video, pick something, throw it up on your own socials. I want to see if that does anything, you know? They're always saying like, comment, subscribe, share. I think we did it once before and I had a slight boost, so let's try it again, see what happens. You never know. It's free for you guys and just helps me out a little bit. I can't post YouTube links on Instagram, so that makes that not work. Facebook, it's so cluttered with bullshit now, what's the point? I'm not about to stream on Facebook either. Actually, once I get a little layer of flung mud on there, this is actually gonna look pretty darn good.
At SFC.M said I saved them to my modeling file.
Nice. But another reason I had to start doing YouTube is there was actually, I can't remember if it was Filipino or Indonesian. It's still out there. They were taking my VODs from Twitch and re-uploading them on their own channels. So now if I do that here, the same VOD that shows on Twitch is going to show on here. And if I have any more trouble, it makes taking that channel down a lot easier.
Almanac said, and I bet they got more views than you do.
I don't know, I haven't bothered looking. Like I said, it was from the time before I started on YouTube. Not all of them did. And enough guys attacked the channels that they... I know one got taken down, but another one sprouted up. And when I mention Sprues and Brews, it's nothing against the channel, it's whatever works for them. You know, I don't know them from a hole in the ground overall, but to me, when I look for model-related stuff, I don't look for that. Okay. Another thing I did, the part was thin enough. There's that little hook on the front. It's molded so it's sticking straight out the front. It actually hinges back and forth. So I cut it along the hinge line and just folded it sideways after I glued it on. Come on, autofocus. So from where the Mr. Surfacer's showing, I'll have to go back with a little bit of dark yellow and touch that up. But I hope I've been able to give you guys some good tips. I know not all my tips are the greatest. I like to think of myself as more of a budget-minded modeler, where I save the money for the kits and not the bullshit.
At sfc.m asks, that was the 1,000, not the 500, right?
500 in the jar.
At ThemoDelStidden20 said, I enjoy the Bearded Veterans live streams, good chats. Sprues and Brews is not on my fave list.
Like I said, I've never really watched them. And I don't expect them to watch me either.
At sfc.m said RGR, THX.
Now, if you want to airbrush it, you'll need their the Mr. Color, whatever it is, the lacquer thinner, or even to me a lacquer thinner will work.
Said, well, I will forever be thankful for the advice to not pee into the wind in a storm.
Oh, I'll create that fucking storm if I gotta. Floorboard kick chips. And we'll paint some details up on the dash while we're at it. And my knee's starting with its bullshit again.
At ThemoDelStidden20 said, I like Frankie too, can't get more low budget.
Again, don't know them. They haven't popped up on my channel or my feed.
At ThemoDelStidden20 asks, is that the Hornice?
Yeah, that's the Hornies. With a Playmax, or Plamax, however you want to pronounce it, figure. Okay, those are the metals. uniform pieces. I'm looking for the placard that goes above the steering wheel.
At SFC.M said I liked the gap filling and Alfie White. I was doing speed or fill with evergreen stock.
Those can work too, but if you're just looking for something quick and dirty, because you know the seam's not going to be fully visible when you're done.
At Themodel Student 20 said that is a cool kit.
I still have to finish painting that figure. I don't know if I'll have enough of this done for a short tonight. And I have noticed that my uploading slowed down, right? So because of that, I'm not getting out there as frequently as I used to in terms of, you know, new shit coming up. So that's also yet another factor. And that is the wrong bottle. Is this one I was trying to clean?
At Themodel Student 20 asks, how are you enjoying the Schwim?
Honestly, I'm a bit underwhelmed by it. You know, it's like you hear all these reviews talking about it. Let me get some more music going. And everyone's always bitching about the reinforcement bracket that goes under the bar here. Not a single review mentioned the absolute shit fit of the upper and lower body. All right, take it easy, SFC.
Said, have a great rest of your day, sir.
And this is the modern Tamiya release. This isn't the old one from the 70s or the 80s. This isn't the old Italeri kit repackaged by them. This is a modern tooling. So I'm actually a bit unimpressed. Ah, there we go. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting a visitation by the princess. What are you doing? Yeah, you know you got to go back over there. Covering up the 500 that's leaked through on there.
Where's my box lid?
It's right there. It's larger than the cat, but she's still laying in it. You know, but this is actually surprising that this little bugger won the poll. I was honestly expecting one of the tigers to win. Not because I'm in a rush to build those or anything. I am. But just because it's brain poop. It's typically the more popular subject. But it was actually this, the M113, and then the A-Team van, believe it or not.
At Themodel Student 20 asks, I have that Dragon Tiger. It's the one with the interior, right?
None of the Dragon Tigers have come with the interior. Some of them have torsion bars. Actually, all of them have torsion bars. Some have a little bit of like the gun breech and some driver's compartment detail, but the only one that comes with a full interior is either Academy or Ryfield. And the Academy kit's going on almost 40 years old now. Unless you're talking about the Tamiya 125th scale one. I don't remember if that had an interior, though. What are we doing next here?
At the Model Student 20 said, I guess mine is Academy. It has an interior. It's 135th.
Yeah, that'll be the old Academy kit then. There. So I am going to take a quick walk around break. I need to head upstairs and find my lighter. That way I can stretch some sprue to recreate the weld seam that goes over the seam for the front bumper. So,
At the Model Student 20 said, I voted for the Vietnam War.
So I'll be right back, putting on pause. Alright, back. So, should I keep going with polls in the future? I figure that gets a bit more engagement, and lets you guys know what's coming, but also allows you to have kind of a say in what's going on.
Almanac said, I honestly didn't know you did Paul's until yesterday.
I've done a couple in the past, but they didn't get a lot of reception, but this one got a lot more than the last ones did, so that's why I'm asking if you guys would like to see more of them. It includes you guys in the decision-making process. Come on. Go to your home. Plus, we're on the verge of getting 1,000 subs on YouTube. We've been, like I was saying before I lost track and my brain train derailed, been fluttering between 959 and 961, 962. But for every one I gain, I lose one, it looks like, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if anyone else has been having the same thing happen. I'm adding the sprue here because there's a seam on the kit that is actually covered by a weld bead on the real car. So instead of sanding it flat, I'm adding the weld. I know a lot of people say they don't care one way or another about the polls. I still think it's a way to allow you guys to have your input and invest you in what's going on. Softened. Just have that one to do. And you don't have to keep your decisions like private on the polls either. You can talk about which one you voted for and why and all that. A little more glue just to soften it up a hair more.
Dustin20 asks, did this one come at the top?
No, it came with a folded top, not a fully raised top.
Dustin20 said mine came with 2 one up and 1 down.
I was almost tempted to get the Italy one, just so I could have the bike to use on something else. Ow! Ugh. Oh, and I'm sorry to Canada for, you know, all of the Idaho, Oregon, and Washington smoke that's headed your way now. You know, payback and fair's fair. I guess that's our response to, you know, Ryan Reynolds being down here for a little bit in that stupid suit of his. Oh, did I say that out loud? Okay, where are we on this? And my wife went to Spokane for 2 weeks for vacation. And the day she leaves, the entire town of Spokane lights up on fire. And I know how important the vacation is to her, but I also told her, if shit gets too real before you get up there, turn around. Like, visiting your family is not worth getting stranded. Well, of course there's no positive markers for where this goes. Why would there be? There's kinda one right there. Oh, and one thing I was talking about on the other stream that died, it's kind of Volkswagen, Kubelwagen, Schwimmwagen related.
Said, and a bicycle, which is one of the coolest parts. LOL, no worries, we're getting rain for the next couple days.
Well, send some of that down this way. Yeah, before the last stream died, I was talking about...
Said time to bounce. Gotta wake up and go to work in 5 hours.
Take it easy, Almanacs. The wife just tried calling. I'll just let her know that I'm streaming. Oh, actually, let me call her. Pause.
Dustin20 said, guys, we're towing a Schwimmwagen or driving one.
Entrance not exist.
The busy builder said, talking to wife back in a moment. At the busy builder 4071 said, talking to wife back in a moment.
Alright, we're back. Just making sure she's doing okay before she descends into an apocalyptic hellscape that is known as Spokane, Washington right now. Because that's where her family lives. And I don't know if she's going to cut her trip short or not. So the one thing this does come with is a tarp-covered windshield. I'm using that instead of the clear one. So that'll be folded down forward as well. Okay, which one do I want to use for B58? Okay, so this is without small arms. I don't want this one, because I'm going to be putting the 42 and the Panzerfaust and a couple of other things on here. Or 43, not 42. So this is the one I want. I got that backwards. No, I was saying on my other stream before it died, and before I get interrupted on this one, see if it happens again, right? Ran into some guys at the gas station on the way to the tank museum that was near Thetford and Norwich at the time. And they were driving an old Schwimmwagen. And I led them to the museum with my car, because we were all headed to the same spot. So you got this ancient Camaro. Hey, Three Spikes, you got this ancient Camaro leading this even older Schwimmwagen to a museum. Yep, Almanacs went to bed. Tomorrow expect me on around the same time, unless I run into those nights where I can't sleep. Then I might be on a lot earlier, but either way, about noon, I gotta hit the hobby shop for some supplies. And Tamiya has an interesting way of doing the wheels on this, too, so they can keep the tread nice and defined. Yeah, this camera's sucking lately. Or am I just too close? Hold on. Might just be too close. Yeah, I don't know. I can never figure this crap out. And neither can anybody else. So each tire road surface, the rubber part, is actually 5 pieces. With 4 of each of them having the same locating key, and then the final one being a different key. That just helps keep everything aligned properly. Because you notice all these are single notch, if you can really see it. Yeah, there you go. You got single notch there, and then you got double notch there.
Cameras. Grinning face with sweat emoji, everyone struggles.
Yeah, if only we could wish the focus errors on the flock cameras that I have with mine, right? And then when all's said and done, this will go here, but that'll be one of the last things I put on.
At the model student 20 said that's neat, I haven't built those yet.
Yeah, do you have this one to build? That's a pretty thorough interior, though. Got some hand cranks there. I should probably go ahead and just... anything that goes around this area... But anything that goes around this area, I'm probably just going to paint, damn it, as I install it. So that way when I go to airbrush the body, I just have to paint around, not directly at.
At the model student 20 said no, I grab one if I see one pop up.
Yeah, just beware of that damn seam there. And I know it's not anything I did wrong because it's literally the lower tub and upper tub just going together. There's no way to screw that up. Let me just get a little paint along the gunnel here. And do we want airbrushed camo, or do we want more of a brushy, stippled, spongy camo, like, say, a Q-tip and just tap, 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 tap? Because I've seen examples of everything on this, from none, to sprayed, to brushed on, to applied with like a... what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a soft mop, and they just stabbed it onto the vehicle. Do something different than the usual, you know, slick as shit airbrush stuff that I'm always doing, right? Headlights. Yeah, but I might have to get the files for those, let me find the actual thing. Where is it? I saw it on here already. Okay. So, inside the bathtub of the Schwimmwagen, there's the drum mag for the MG34 and the MG42, right? Just the typical little drum. Insignificant detail, right? Except there is a fully visible rack that goes right here that holds 2 of them. That is missing. So
At Model Student 20 said, I think I added some branches and foliage on top for extra camo.
I haven't seen any pictures of one like that, so I wouldn't want to try and replicate that, personally. Not that I'm trying to stay 100% accurate, correct, or anything like that. But it's also so small, I don't want it getting overpowered by what's around it. Like, you've all seen how much even just adding camouflage netting to something like an LAV can almost overpower that model and hide it. But yeah, you could stick some branches in the fenders here and in the side rails, which probably did happen. But I want to try and show off the vehicle a little bit more on this one. There's the horn. I will have a tree next to it. We'll be dressing up this seafoam.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, "Hello."
Hey, Lupu! Long time no see. How you been? Now, you want to talk about one of my original viewers. That would be Lupu there.
Lupu the Mad 2 asked, "Been good, you?"
Still here, still struggling on. Same old, same old. There's the horn, the no-tech nighttime light.
It do be like that.
There's Render Dad joining in. Yeah, we're just throwing together a little World War II oddity. And if you want to go along with this, you know, who makes the best amphibious Jeep? You know, like the one that was stupidly used at the end of, what was that terrible Indiana Jones movie? The one with the swinging Shia LaBeouf.
Dad said, "Been a while. Hope all is well."
If Render Dad is Gamer Dad, then yes, definitely been a while. How you been? Everyone old's coming out of the woodwork. We're still doing. Ow. Just a few years older. More joint pains. You know how it is. B7, B8, B44.
Render Dad said, "Just Render Dad. Never
Oh.
been Gamer Dad."
I thought Gamer Dad changed his name. Never mind. Then, yeah, it's definitely been a while then. Sorry, just looking at the part to get the line. And along with the age has come the glasses. They showed up about 3 years ago. Come on, stick. Yeah, the only real difference between now and the last time you guys saw me is I'm also on YouTube. So we're simulcasting. B7, B8.
Lupu the Mad 2 said neat.
Well, they couldn't do the simulcasting before, now they can.
Render Dad asks how's the Camaro?
Oh, she's running. Still trying to save up for my other vehicle to be able to put the Camaro down for more heavy work, but she's there. There's still a lot more to go on this car. I still have to build the propeller. Next we'll be doing the exhaust. And if you're building it, you'll notice that the instructions say the wheels are left and right-handed. They still are, but as you're building it, each one has an L or an R on the back of the hub. So you'll still be able to keep track of that even after you assemble them.
Lupu the Mad 2 said I was window shopping a Yamato kit 1:350 randomly, but realized I don't want to print it, so no purchase.
Are you talking space battleship or actual battleship, Yamato?
Break the cycle.
If I was to do one now, I'd honestly do a 700 scale one. The Flyhawk kit, even without the photo etch sets and everything, is stupid detailed. I know you said you were looking for a 350th scale. But with what they're able to do with the modern molding,
Said actual battleship. Don't think space battleship exists in such a big scale.
I could have sworn Bandai had done one in 350th, or did they only do the 1/500?
Lupu the Mad 2 said no idea.
But from what I've seen, the Flyhawk kit is amazing. So tiny and thin part. Also trying to decide what my next 3D printed figure should be. There's a female pyramid head based on that one cosplayer. There's a new alien by, who was it? Bulkmancer. He did a great job. Probably one of the best 3D alien files out there right now. There's also,
Lupu the Mad 2 said I still have my RGRX 78-2 waiting to be completed. Lost my motivation and I broke a joint in one of the arms.
did it break, or was it just that typical brittle Bandai plastic? Somebody does Hugh and the little girl from, I think his name's Hugh. I don't remember. I haven't played the game, but it looks interesting. But the character's from Pragmata, with Diana on his shoulder. kind of leaning toward either the Alien or Pragmata, just because they're both detailed as hell. Okay, so the Panzerfaust and the Mauser can stay out for now.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, I don't think I managed to set it properly and applied too much pressure so the internal joint broke. I can friction fit it to set angles still, thankfully.
That's good. Well, it could be worse. It could be like the 5-star stories kits from Wave, where no matter what you do, you can't get them tight.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, Pragmata sounds neat.
Entropy.
Or I could do Winter Shopper Rupee from Nikkei, Goddess of Victory. Total cheesecake model there. I don't know, we might be able to have this together for a short tonight. Together enough, anyway.
Entropy.
Alright, so how the heck do these go on? I know that material is notched so it fits, but it's not very clear.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, I pre-ordered a figurine today. Not a kit, but I like the character King Hassan from Fate Grand Order.
Gotcha. I think I mentioned it last stream. I'm going to have a coworker FDM print the 6-wheeled colony truck from Aliens for me
Stream
in
Elements said,
studio
check out
scale.
the YouTube page at.
There we go.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, sounds cool.
Well, most people won't get it because it's, you see it for a split second when right after they land and their sergeant's looking through the binoculars and you see the bar sign. You see it off to the left of the scene. And that's in the theater cut. I don't recall seeing it more in the director's cut. It may have been in the background of one of the colony scenes from the director's cut as well. But it's just a neat looking truck, and once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. So I'm just going to place this here for right now. Because these go onto here. And that just butts up against there.
Lupu the Mad 2 said, I have a few Gundam to pose that are on a shelf kinda laying there.
Yeah, I've got, as you can see, the display cases behind me. Probably a much different arrangement from what you remember last time. 4. There goes the knee again. Ah, there we go. Snap, crackle, pop, my knee.
said, I remember the background being very empty.
Yeah, it's my upstairs room. Just as we got older and things changed in our lives and dynamic with our friends, we weren't using our theater room as much. So I talked to the wife and said, "Hey,
Dream Elements said, check out my previous work on my Instagram.
can I just use the theater room as my hobby space? It's a bit larger, a bit more stuff going on in the background." And she's like, "Sure." And I'm using the wrong oar. It just keeps the room in use, you know. And then she took over my old hobby space for her diamond art. But that also included my much larger desk, which I kind of miss that big desk. That's about how it's got to sit because I can't make the oar go through the fender. So yeah, it looks like some parts have duplicates because of the other issue of the kit where it came with something else. This is all the weapon stuff. That can wait. I'm definitely going to have a dig through my spare parts boxes and see if I've got anything else I could also put in the back of this, just to fill it out a bit more. Go. Now, how do you... Aha. There's that one. That one's already lined up. Oh. Where are you going? There we go. That's strange. Sorry, trying to find a picture of something real quick. Okay, I see how it is. I'm not going to worry about the cross plate, but I'm just going to put 2 strips of plastic coming up once I get the other one on. But I'm glad to see a lot of old names coming back. I hope you all have been doing well. I know life gets in the way. I have fallen victim to that very many times. I should be able to do this short tonight now that I'm looking at it. The wheels actually stay on pretty well without glue. Now if this would glue to itself instead of everything else around it. The wheels stay on pretty well without glue. So that shouldn't pose a problem.
Luke even mad too said I haven't been checking out Twitch much for a while, but I saw you on randomly. At Del Student 20 said this time of year my channel gets a bit of a backseat face with tears of joy emoji.
Yeah, a lot of people have been kind of not on Twitch, which is understandable. But that's kind of why I'm doing both. If one goes out, the other one's still there. Okay. Now let's get the propeller built. I'll need this. That. I'm just glad I'm off tomorrow too. It's been a while since I've had 2 days off in a row, and I could really use them right now. That. And before I forget, where is it? This minuscule piece of junk. There we go. Okay. I'll just use the same excuse everybody else is using out there for, you know, everything coming back online and going a bit, you know, back to normal like that. It's because they shut down CERN. Everyone's coming back and watching because they shut down CERN. I don't know if that's actually why. It's the good excuse everyone's using. Alright, so that's how that goes. This goes here. And the instructions are saying to not glue this together. Once I get it on, I'm gluing it. Just because I don't need it flopping up and down all the time. Like I showed earlier, I've already got kind of a appropriately sized display base to put it on. And we've got some new basing materials I want to try using to make a slightly more realistic tree. When I do the initial tiger, though, I need some pine trees, because I want to recreate the box art for this. Come here, you. Back over here. I've already got the tank crew, so I know that's sorted out. And it comes with the film crew. I just need to find one more figure to put with the film crew. Like he's smoking a cigarette like you see in the picture. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to glue you up like that, because that's how you're going to sit anyway. And these have to be really good looking pine trees. I can look and see about techniques, but I might get a little lost looking at that. Because I know there's ways to do it. I've got the longer static grass. I think there's a way to do it by twisting a bunch of wires and stuff together.
Luke with a mad 2 said, because I'm watching you, I start thinking I should take my tiger out for a spin in the neighborhood.
Which tiger? I have a Tamiya that I've backdated. Or are you actually talking the car, the tiger? But I've got a Tamiya that I've backdated to the same initial class. But lately I've been trying to get my my newest Abrams up to spec. Get that looking right and running right.
Luke with a mad 2 said Tiger One, the one I bought off Mickey.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, so you bought his tiger. Alright. I'm gonna leave this loose, because I want to paint that field gray as well, because it's got the nice cover on it. Come on, pop in. How come these things never want to pop in when they say they will? There we go. Now it's actually starting to look like something. So you've got the Tamiya as well, just it's more standard. Or did he have a different one? I don't remember. I've got too many RC tanks, to be honest. And I can't wait to add the AAV to them next month.
Luke with a mad 2 said I don't think it's Tamiya. I think it's some other brand with a bunch of add-ons.
Like Toro or Tigan, because those are the only outside of Hanglong, those are the only other two companies. And I think it's Taigen that uses Hanglong's chassis for their base. And Toro has a different one. They have more of a metal base. That's why you're sitting up too high. That's better.
Luke with a mad too said it might be Hunlong.
Yeah, Hanglong isn't bad.
Luke with a mad too said, but unsure.
Their turret sits too far forward, so it causes other issues, like it hits some of the Pioneer tools and things like that when you rotate it. But when it's painted up right, it looks like a good fit.
I'm gonna check the box.
Well, here's an easier question. To get the battery in and out, do you have to take the entire top off? If so, then it's a Toro or Meadow.
Luke with a mad too said it's Taigen. I have to take off the entire top.
It's Taigen? Okay. It's not bad. I've got... Is my other Sherman Taigen?
Stream Elements.
It's
check out
Taigen.
my YouTube page at.
I've got their Sherman, the M4A376W, so basically Fury without the Easy 8 suspension. And I painted mine up to represent one of Crichton Abrams' Thunderbolt tanks. Okay. So once these dry a bit, I'll cut them down. They're probably a bit too far apart, but I'm not going to be picky about it. I'm going through the trouble of adding them. That should be good enough.
Loop with a mad too said it's got metal turret, metal tracks, metal undercarriage, only plastic might be the upper hull.
Yeah, it sounds like the high-end Taigen. I've really been having to stop myself from picking up a an RC Sturm Tiger, though. Just because it's that different. Come on. The plastic gods are not happy with me today.
Stream Elements said check out my previous work on my Instagram ad.
Those alerts have been weird lately. They don't work for the first half of the stream, then they go off every 5 minutes later. I don't know. Come on, just stand on edge.
Luke the Mad 2 said, but yeah, haven't run it in a while. Was gonna do it like a few months ago, but one side was being difficult, so I had to fiddle with it to fix it. Then it went back on the shelf. Its greatest decoration.
Was it hopping on the rear idler and riding with like the guide teeth in the groove in the idler instead? Usually when that happens on RC Tigers, it means the tension is too loose and you're making too sharp a turn, so it's hopping off track. With the metal tracks on it, I know it sounds weird. If you have a 16th scale figure, I believe it's rule of thumb for tension adjustment on a Tiger is 4 fingers over the second road wheel. So the second road wheel back, if you can put their hand like that under the road wheel in the track, then it's set right. I did that to all mine and never had an issue. Trying to get all the other little stuff aside from the weapons. Okay, I see what that is now. The mirror. Is this one of the ones that replays itself? I think it is. Yeah. Let's get some different music going. And I'm going to take a quick stand-up break. If you guys have been watching me and sitting around yourselves for over an hour, I highly suggest getting up and moving around. Just because it'll help that blood flow and keep you from having a clot. So, once I get this glued in, I'm going to do that myself. Probably.
Luke the Mad 2 said genuinely don't remember what the issue was. Fixed it.
Usually if it's a track issue, it's that. Not much else to go odd on a Tiger. Maybe a road wheel issue, like a torsion bar not working right or something. But alright, so take a walk around break and I'll be right back.
Luke with the Mad 2 said I'm heading to bed, CYA. We'll try to check out stream here and there.
Alright, we're back. Move the knee around a little bit. How you doing, model student? You still out there? Sorry, I'm kind of still massaging the knee a bit. I think we have a pressure front coming in.
The busy builder just redeemed free hugs.
Alright. Do some flavored water.
At the model student 20 said I'm still here grinning face with sweat emoji.
Hi, Mittens. Alright, so let's get this figure finished, the other one built, and then we'll see what we can do. It's probably reached a good, you know, let it set overnight, get it ready for tomorrow kind of point. But it'll allow me to throw together a good short tonight.
20 said I'm having a flavored water too. It's often referred to as coffee rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
I try not to do coffee after 3 or 4 p.m. And it's after 4. Unless you want me having a midnight stream. I mean, I could arrange that. Don't know how well I would do, but I mean, I could do that. It sounds like you're normally up at that time anyway, right? I used to do coffee in the evenings, but not anymore. I mean, I'm off tomorrow. Maybe I can indulge myself. I don't know. We shall see. Mittens, you can get up on the back of the chair, you know that, right? Yeah, up. Up, up. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on Arnie. I know he's got to be days away. Right now, I plan on being on tomorrow. If I'm not, it means Arnie passed away in the night. That's why you haven't seen so much of him. He can't come up and down the stairs as easily anymore. And we're just trying to keep him comfortable in his final days. But he's the OG chair cat. Like what Mittens is doing right now, Arnie started that. Yeah, good boy, Mittens. Except Arnie he used to lay down for an entire stream and just stay there. Yeah, I know, Mitt. I know. You're a big boy. Yeah. And another thing I need to find is I'll be doing Whitman's Last Tiger 007. From what I understand, the farm area that they found the wreckage of the tank in hasn't changed a lot in recent years. And I'd like to see what buildings were around it versus the direction he traveled from. Because I think it would be interesting to build the Tiger by some of the farm buildings surrounding it, as if he passed by there moments before the end. Not trying to idolize the tank commander, just everybody seems to know that tank. Interesting way to mold a hand. They didn't even put it on the cuff. Good boy, Mitty. There. I want to try and keep this scene simple, though. And I might have a think on these figures before I finish this, cause is it the Schwimmwagen or the Kubelwagen that came with another figure set? Yeah, there's a second set for this. Let me see here. But I think there's one for the Kubelwagen as well. No, there isn't. Just the Schwimmwagen. The other one has 4 figures, but they're, I don't know, they're too varied. You got one posed like that famous photograph where he's sitting on the edge with the map in his hand by the Malmedy sign. So, yeah. We're just going to keep going with these guys. Generic is better. One of the bad things about having cats, though, you gotta check the floor behind you before you roll your chair back so you don't accidentally roll over a cat's foot. Or a tail. And I do have a Sturm Tiger on the way. It should be here tomorrow. It's the old Tamiya kit. I really didn't feel like dealing with Ryfield's crap.
Davo said we had 2 black cats and walking anywhere at night was a bit of a safety risk.
How you doing, Davos? Did you just get here or you just been hanging out?
20 said Athena dog is the worst for lying behind my chair grinning face with sweat emoji.
Well, I felt Mittens jump down. I just didn't know where he was. So, because he's usually right at the base of the chair. Like right now, he's turned around and he's come back and he's staring at me now with his big blue eyes. Yeah.
09 Davo said
My little miniature snow leopard.
No chance at seeing them.
Okay. I think what I'll do here is I'll actually glue the steering wheel to Dude's hand. Hand work. Pick up sprue. Thank you. Yeah, if you don't see me on tomorrow morning, expect me on around the same time as today. The hobby shop I've got to go to doesn't open till 1. It's not far from my house, but traffic is as traffic is. Tweezers, do you want to go into timeout again? You're about to. But is everybody having a good weekend? This is my Saturday. And at least for the next 2 weeks. Well, actually 3 weeks almost now. I'll be on Sunday, Monday. Let me know if being on later would help because of time differences, work schedules, things like that. I know I've asked that before. But like today, a lot of people in Europe and UK, places like that, have to go earlier because it's later there. What, Allie? You just came running up like your ass is on fire. What's going on? Anyway. Okay, I got 2 canteens. I'm going to throw them in the box. Because there's no provision for them on the figures. But from the sound of it, after this one, you guys really want to see the M113. And that's why I've got to run to the hobby shop, because I have to get some more Sky. Because the M113A1 is when they started painting the interiors seafoam green, not white. And the color, the Sky color, is what works best for that. At least I think. I really need to look into getting a better camera setup, I think. Something that can see the details better. Or get my existing one really worked over so it sees better. I've tried different settings and nothing is really helping. Settings, filters, all that. Stay there. Yep. But here's a German officer doing what they do best, yelling and pointing. Meanwhile, the driver's looking at him like, the fuck are you on about? There we go. The reason I want to glue the steering wheel to his hand, and not like I had it, is because once the steering wheel's in place, I can't get the driver in. But if I glue it to his hand, I can get the driver in. Let that set. That sprue was empty. Did I miss a couple tow hooks? Sorry, just going back through things. Because I saw 2 tow hooks on the sprue. And I've run into a couple things in the kit where there's extra parts. But nothing's making much sense. So I want to make sure I'm not leaving something out on the lower. Aha. Come on. All for that. Come on. Come on, camera. Looks like I'll have to start locking my focus again. I hate doing that. No, I wanted to see about throwing this guy together, see what he does on the other side. He's not meant for it, he's meant to be a driver as well. But if I can change his hand so it looks like he's holding the MG or something like that. That's even. That's if he even fits into the seat. That is the weirdest parts breakdown I've seen. Okay. Can I get you in there to begin with? Nope, because your knee is pointed the wrong way. His knee's pointed out to the left. Like he's leaning it over that side in there. So nope. And I'm not about to go doing surgery on a figure. Not today. Okay. But yeah, that's it for base construction, I guess. I mean, I can put the MG on there loose. I just left all the weapons out so they could be painted easier. So that's that one done. That is...
Student 20 asks, would he fit in the back?
Maybe. And he could also be leaning over like he's listening to the asshole yell. That's for the MG if it wasn't installed. Separate shovel. Hood latch, or... yeah, hood latch if it's raised. Windshield I'm not using. And other ads, so... we'll look into that in a second. Thanks for the idea. I don't want to glue this in yet, but it goes like that. I wanted to have someone manning the MG as the key thing. No, his feet can't get down. They're too kicked back. Like they're already under the seat. Oh, 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 oh. Model student might be onto something here. We'll see if his arm posture will allow it. Because I really don't feel like converting anything today.
FB model student 20 said yeah.
Minor conversion, change the arm angle. That works better, and I can just fill that little bit with some Mr. Surfacer and scrape it over. Let's get his other arm doing something besides, you know, wanking. Maybe I can just have it down in his lap. So what we'll do here is we'll cut the wrist at cut the arm at the sleeve so I can rotate it. Have that No. Stop. Stop sliding. Stop it. Maybe he has a canteen in his hand? Instead of a steering wheel? If it fits, you must acquit. There we go.
At Themadel Student 20 said sweet.
Yeah. Come here. Come here. If I can get it to stick like that, that actually feels natural. Come on, get up to where your bloody stump is. I'm just going to glue the hand to his leg. Then I can fill in the area between there and the elbow and blend that. There. That feels more natural. All right. It'd be nice if I had at least a third guy for being in it, but that's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine.
At Themodel Student 20 said some plastic putty fix 'em right up nice.
The fuck are you doing, Allie? Allie. Why are you spinning in circles in your donut? Scared the crap out of me. Thought something was falling down. No, she likes to get in her little donut thing that's behind me on the floor, and she just runs around inside it. She's done it to the point where it's actually got up and rolled across the room. No, but yeah, I just use this, which means I need to get more. More Tamiya putty, some different paints, and yeah, I got a small list to get tomorrow. Allie? I think she went back into the donut. He's not paying particular attention to the guy yelling orders. But that's alright. It's his Obeer 30. He's not feeling too hot. Well, the Panzerfaust will be right here, so it'll be like he's looking at that. I don't fucking know. We'll think of something. But yeah, I want to let him set, though.
At the model student 20 said the Vallejo plastic putty is nice, has a super small applicator.
I personally don't like using it, though. Uh-oh, another issue. Let's see if we can surmount it. Either surmount it or see if it's a non-issue. It should be a non-issue. Okay. All right. But I think we're going to call it a day there. So here's the base I'm going to be putting it on. So we got the vehicle, figure, and tree. Just a little something. Paint everything up summer-like. Yeah, I think that's where we'll have it for now. And tomorrow we'll paint.
At
So
the model student 20 said that'll look cool. The commander dude could be blocking their path, ordering them to turn. Drunken Schwimmwagen ears.
ooh,
Grinning face with sweat emoji.
I have idea now. I got a bunch of clear bottles that are like beer bottle shaped and schnapps bottle shaped. I could have some of those in the back seat with them. So yeah, we'll figure that out. Just a little story, like, give me some of that, you know. But yeah, we'll figure out something to kind of dress up the back of it more, because Panzerfaust and a rifle aren't going to do very much. Yeah, I'll have a look through my stuff and see what I can find. And
Model student 20 said awesome.
ideas, yeah, amaze. Anyway, but yeah, we'll wrap it up for today as far as construction on this. Let it set. I'll do a short, get it ready. The short will probably just be the vehicle and the figure, no base just yet since I haven't made anything. But that'll be next. So yeah, this should be a relatively quick paint. But I'm pretty happy with it overall, though. And I'll try and mess around with my settings, maybe see if I can get the camera to read better. It could just be it's too low, so it doesn't have the visual room for it to work right, which is what I always think is the case. And it could be something to do with, like, contrast and stuff. So let's see here. Nope. So yeah, I'll figure it out. It could be too much gain. Probably too much gain, too bright. So, but yeah, I'll play around with it more. work on some focal depth numbers too. But yeah, expect a short tonight, and I might start working on this big boy. So we'll see. But so far, fun kit. The people who keep pooping on it because of the missing little things here should instead poop on it because of the disgusting join. But yeah, we'll work on painting it tomorrow.
At the model student 20 said cheers CYA tomorrow.
Yep, I might be on earlier tomorrow. It depends on when I get up, but at least expect me about the same time today, between 1 and 2. But thanks everybody for hanging out. It was good to see some old friends come back and some old names. And yeah, see you tomorrow.